det är eftersom du som har...
Dra det här på engelska.
Ja, du får dra det på vilket språk du vill, bara du tror att du får svar.
Och du prefer Finnish?
Not just yet, but I'll probably get better answers. Maybe in the future.
Hey, no, we take it in English. So
I can say one.
Tell me a bit about your background and where you're playing.
Yeah, so last season started really well. I was playing in Wales with a team called Bangor City, and it was a good club, but unfortunately the president stopped paying people money, and eventually people started complaining, and the FA got involved and decided to keep the club out of the league. So all of us as players were in this position where we're tied to a contract, but we're not able to play football. So we had to cancel our contracts at the start of the January window, and we're then kind of scrambling for clubs. And then this opportunity in Scotland came about last minute, where I went up to Cowdenbeath, which was, an interesting experience. It was a tough gig, but no.
From January then?
From January, yeah. But my football at Bangor was really good, really enjoyed it. Part of a great group there. And unfortunately, because we were removed from the league, all of the data was removed. So many goals, assists, appearances, things like that. It was all taken down. So that's just the position.
So how many games and goals did you have in Bangor?
So I played about 14 games, and I had 4 goals and 7 assists. So I played on the left of a front three, and I contributed a lot in that sense.
So Stephen, what's your view? How do you see now? You've seen David for a game, you've seen in trainings, you've seen on video. What do you expect from him?
Well, it gives us something that we haven't got quite clearly, which is a more physical presence in the forward line. It's like David said earlier, we haven't seen so much. I saw him play against Barca EF Core, and he gave their centre halves quite a tough time, which is a good sign. So even with that, even the little bit that we've seen so far, so he scored goals, he scored goals in training, his left foot is good, saw that, physicality is good, attitude is good, willingness to play for the team is good, so that's a really good start. And then the longer he's with us, then hopefully the more we can pull out of him, or he can pull out of himself. It's an attribute. It's something. It's a player that's something different than what we've got, and that's probably like the not the main reason, but it's a good reason, because if we've got the same players in every position, then we're like we can't go to different dimensions. We can't change anything. We are what we are. But he gives us a different dimension as a forward player.
And now, so you're now cleared to play on Saturday.
Yes, you are.
Yes.
Yeah.
So is Hamilton.
So is Hamilton. Yeah. Okay. So Stephen, do you see David is more of a centre forward or Hamilton?
Well, I see them both as forwards. Really.
With Ibeko, Hamilton played on the left and David in the middle.
Yeah, with Ibeko.
So,
but along the forward line, it's like I say, it gives us something different. It gives us another option and a different dimension. But how they interchange and we spoke about it before. It's like formations are formations, they're numbers. But then when the game's being played, then it's all about the situation on the pitch and how the forwards interchange. So it's been no secret that we're looking for a different type of forward, a stronger forward, a more physical forward, because it takes the pressure off our guys that are not so physically big or play as physically. It takes the pressure off them to be physical, and gives them more chance to use their technical attributes. That's really.
So your left footer, have you played? You said you played three-man attack. You played on the left for Bangor City. Is that position you had more or centre forward? What's been
Well, it's been both because of the changing club. At Bangor City, I very much played on the left, sometimes on the right. But at Cowden Beath in Scotland, it was only down the middle as a target man.
On the basis of what you've seen so far, how does it differ to play football here from where you played before?
My initial opinion and thoughts is the game moves quick. I think there's
Quick here.
I think there's good ability. I think there's some very good passages of passing, but I think there can be moments in the game where it needs to just be controlled and slowed down, and dictate the play at times. But that comes with certain characters, I guess, and I hope I can help that with the team.
You have been here now for a week.
Yeah.
What are first impressions of the team or the town? Or
Amazing, really good. The town, the team, coaching staff, everyone's been great. Even like the doctor and stuff like this. Many people, all they've done is try to help me since I've been here. So really get settled in.
Steven, what you've seen now from what do you think about do you think David's ready for 90 minutes? If it performs, does it have it in him?
It's difficult to say. He played 90 minutes against EF, so the possibilities are there. It's just managing the game for him, just to see it's being fit, but it's like travelling a lot will affect your body in different ways.
Did you see him tiring in Vasa?
No, not really. Not really.
Did you feel it sort of? Did you feel that you struggled at the end? Or?
Towards the end, a little bit of fatigue. There's a good amount of running in the tank, and but very positive. Really happy to come away from no injuries. I don't think any of the team had any injuries after that game, which is what you want. Was able to win the game, it's a bonus. It was a very positive day.
Would you describe yourself primarily as a goal scorer then, or are you a typical goal scorer?
Yeah, if the opportunity is there to put the ball in the back of the net, I don't doubt my capability to do that. But I also have to be aware that my role in this team may require a lot of patience. It may require putting others first. My role may be to provide space for the other attackers around me. And if that's the case, then I'm prepared to do that.
So what do you prefer in? Is that like a classic English centre forward? You would like to have crosses or maybe how do you want your ball?
I don't mind.
Service?
Yeah, I don't mind. Playing in the UK, there's various different styles, and I feel like I've adapted to both when needed. So yeah, I'm open. How
do you look at that? What do you think? What kind of service do you think David will flourish in?
I think same thing. I think both. I've seen parts of the games that he's played when he's played quite wide with his left foot, so he can play that kind of role with the ball at his feet. He can play more with his back to the goal, or he can be more of a target in the box. It's like it's having someone in the opponent's penalty area that's going to give us some physical presence that opponents are going to be aware of, which will hopefully take the awareness away from our other players that are in the box. I mean, he's difficult not to see. So and with his ability to put pressure on people physically, so and technically, so it's just a plus for us. It's just a plus. And then hopefully, like he said himself, getting used to the team, getting used to the players around him, because you can't have expectations of a new player, a new country, a new surface, new teammates, new club, new coach, and then all of a sudden everything clicks like completely. Hopefully it does, but the expectations are not. I don't expect it to be perfect. If it is, I'm pleased. We're all pleased. But like I said, what we've seen so far is that we know that we'll get a different dimension, we'll get a different type of player, a different kind of forward.
Do you think the fact that you have now can play with David, will it change the way Jaro will play?
No, it changes the possibilities of the way that we can play. It gives us different possibilities, so hopefully it will make it harder for opponents to play against us because we've got different possibilities.
How do you look at playing towards his feet? How comfortable do you see David being in that, and to combine with him?
Well, I've seen him do it in other clubs, so I'm not worried about that kind of thing at all. It's just it's not a worry. It's just how quickly the understanding between the forwards, how they start understanding each other, how they start working around him or understanding the possibilities that he gives them and they give him.
How do you think then, now playing in Teollisuhalli, how will this affect the way you approach the game?
Well, at the minute it doesn't need to affect it really in any way because we've played in Teollisuhalli like most of our games, the Ykkös Cup games, our friendly games. So the pitch is smaller than a normal outdoor pitch. So, but we've trained there all winter and we've played there a lot. So I don't really see it as any kind of negative thing. The negative thing is that we can't play outdoors. So, but that's not anybody's fault. It's just, that's the situation.
I think over the years Jaro have had an advantage to play in Teollisuhalli. Would you agree with that? That you have your home advantage is quite great now.
Yeah, but you could say that like Liverpool have got an advantage when they play at home at Anfield as well, I suppose. So there's no disadvantage with playing home games. I don't think so. So the advantage is that we've got a home game. I don't think it's any bigger the advantage that we're playing in Teollisuhalli because like Finnish players are used to playing in halls and they're used to playing on AstroTurf. So I don't really think that's too much of an advantage.
Is Sotelon fit for fight now? You have pushed him really hard.
Yeah, he's fitter. He's getting fitter. It's the managing of the load on the players from games. That's the thing. We've got a few players that haven't played so many competitive games that came a little bit later. Or have been injured or whichever, so you've got to make sure that you manage the load so they don't get overloaded and get injured because that's the last thing we want from players that are not at their 100% match fit is to push them too far and get soft tissue injuries.
What's your picture of the opponent then, KäPa? What do you think they will bring to the game and how? Yeah.
They're a young team, technically good team, full of energy, full of spirit. So I think that's what they'll bring. They're obviously confident because they won their first game. So yeah, confident, young, full of energy, technically good.
Well, my picture of teams like KäPa is they like to play from the back, well, we have both seen Jaro. You can in that fairly small pitch in Teollisuhalli, you can put the pressure on.
Yeah, but they can put the pressure on us as well. So it's the same thing. It's like it's just managing the game. It's how they manage the game. I don't know how they're going to play against us. I don't know. I know how they played against Empire, but it doesn't mean to say they play. They know how we played against them.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think we put stop here.
We are